Alright, so we got another Math Easy video here for you today, and today's video is on the fact that you can solve a two-step equation. So, today, what we're going to do is we are going to solve all two-step equations. So we want to go through the steps of solving that two-step equation first. So, first, we want to add or subtract the constant term from both sides. Now, the constant term that's on the same side as the x is a 1, right? Because there's no variable next to it. It's just a constant term by itself. So, we need to make sure to move that 1. The first thing that I like to do before even doing that when I solve an equation, though, is I like to draw a wall right down the center so that I can organize myself. I'm going to be subtracting and adding terms from both sides, so I want to be organized when I do that. Drawing the wall helps me be a little bit more organized. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And now I just need to make sure that I rewrite the equation in the appropriate form. So now I'm going to get 5x is equal to 31 minus 30. 31 minus 1 is 30. So that's the first step in solving a two-step equation. The next step is to multiply or divide to get rid of the coefficient. In front of x. So here the coefficient is going to be a 5 that's in front of the x. A coefficient is just a number that is multiplied with another term. Okay? More than not, it's a variable. So we have a number that's multiplied with a variable. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide by 5 on both sides. And we're going to get x is equal to, now that I have 5 divided by 5, those 5 divided by 5, that's going to turn into a 1, which is what we want in front of the x. We're not going to necessarily write that 1 all the time. We know that if x is by itself, that there's a 1 in front. So we're going to get x is equal to 6. Now, when you finish your answer, you always want to box it to make sure that you have it as your final answer. But the nice thing about equations is that you can substitute that value back up into the top to see if it balances your equation, which is what we want when we have an equation. So 5 times 6 plus 1 is equal to 31. If I put that in my calculator, what I just underlined, I will get 31 equals 31. Now the equation is balanced and I know that I have the correct answer. The next question that we're going to go through is a little bit different. So this one is still a two-step equation, but there is a fraction in front of the x. So start by drawing your wall, and then we're going to move the constant term, the negative 2, the minus 2, by adding it to the other side. So now I get 3/5 x equals 3. What we want to understand about this is that you could here divide by 3/5, but that can get messy in your calculator if you don't press the correct buttons. So another thing that you can do is you can multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, and the reciprocal is just switching the numerator and denominator. So if I want to multiply by the reciprocal to get rid of this 3/5, I'm going to multiply both sides by 5/3. Now why do we do that? Well, 5 divided by 5, that's going to turn into 1. And 3 divided by 3, that's also going to turn into 1. So we're left with a 1 in front of the x, and now we just need to do this calculation on the right side to figure out what x is. So 3 times 5/3. If you put that in your calculator, you're going to end up getting 5. Also, look at it like this. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So x equals 5 is our answer. And And again, if we wanted to, and we always should want to, because it's going to prove that we go home with the right answer, 3/5 times 5 over 1, I can always put the whole number over 1 to help me calculate a fractional computation. Minus 2 is equal to 1. I'm checking my answer by substituting my answer back in to see that it balances the equation. So 3/5 times 5 over 1, that ends up being 3. Minus 2 is equal to 1, so 1 equals 1, so that answer checks out, that it balances my equation. Okay, so that's it for today. The bonus question is right here, so if you complete that, you're going to get an extra point. But I would use this as extra practice for understanding how to solve two-step equations. Thanks.